Welcome to the April edition of 4 and 4. I'm Kathy Halgren, Director of South St. Paul Public Library, and I have 4 books to introduce to you with settings in Ghana, London, northern Sweden, California, and Montana. My first book, The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner, contains a wonderful 1791 map of London, and it's not on the end papers of the book, so you can see it in its entirety. We are first introduced to Nella, a woman who secretly dispenses cures in the form of poisons to help women sort out their problems, but she's vowed to never help anyone harm a woman. Enter Eliza, a young maid who's made a visit to Nella on behalf of her mistress, who is ready to take action against her husband's wandering eye, and Nella's life will never be the same. While this story is going on, we're introduced to present-day Caroline, who has arrived in London from the States, and she's on a mission of self-discovery in light of a troubled marriage. When mudlarking along the Thames, she comes across a small blue glass bottle with a bear etched on its side, and there's the connection between the two storylines. And if you don't know what mudlarking is, you'll just have to read this to find out. For my next book, I was torn between We Begin at the End by Chris Whitaker or Raft of Stars by Andrew J. Graff. And while both books are very good, We Begin at the End won. Both novels deal with actions a child takes to protect someone they love, but in We Begin at the End, we have several characters trying to figure out how to carry on when mistakes are made. Misunderstandings abound, and accidents happen that forever alter the residents of Cape Haven on the California coast. The author's writing style is a bit different, but just keep on reading. Eventually the story rolls out, and I could not stop reading. Vincent King is about to be released from jail after serving 30 years for a hit-and-run event that occurred when he was just a teenager. His best friend Walk, the chief of police of Cape Haven, is harboring a secret of his own while trying to support Vincent in adjusting to civilian life. But then, Vincent's girlfriend of the past, Star Radley, is brutally beaten and killed, and Vincent's on the premises at the time. Of course, he's presumed guilty, but is he? Star's children, Duchess and Robin, bereft of love and stability, are taken to Montana to live with their grandfather Hal, whom they've never met. You will fall in love with brave Duchess, the outlaw who will go to great lengths to protect her little brother Robin, but just can't seem to curb her anger, which gets in the way of every fresh start. This is one of those books where once I understood what was really happening, I wanted to start over from the beginning again and read with an enlightened eye towards the details. And endings, no matter how painful, really do usher in new beginnings. My next book, Sleep Well, My Lady, by Quartey, takes place in Accra, Ghana, and it also contains a map to get you acquainted with the city and the main players in the novel, as well as a glossary and pronunciation guide for Ghanaian dialects. The stunning Lady Araba, a fashion maven and self-made woman, has been murdered, and the police don't seem to be in much of a hurry to find her true killer after jailing her driver. This infuriating situation propels her aunt Dele to contact Emma Jean, a private investigator, and it's entertaining to see how she and the rest of the crew at the Sawa Detective Agency work to track down the real killer and obtain justice for those wrongfully accused of the crime. Kwei is a physician-turned-mystery writer and a delightful guide to his country of origin. This novel is based on the actual 2012 murder of a Kenyan woman whose case has never been solved. Camilla Sten captures a wonderful, eerie atmosphere in my last selection, The Lost Village. Alice has assembled a 5-person troupe to travel to northern Sweden to film a documentary trailer of Silversharn, or Silver Lake, a small mining town where all the residents mysteriously disappeared in 1959, leaving a baby behind and a woman stoned to death in the town square. Alice knows about this town because her grandmother grew up there before moving to Stockholm. Another member of the film crew, Tone, has a strong link to the community since she is actually the daughter of the discovered baby. While this is going on, there are chapters leading up to the actual disappearance where we are introduced to Birgitta, a developmentally disabled woman in the community, Alice's great aunt as a young girl, and the handsome new pastor who suddenly appears to help the ailing pastor of the parish. What happened in this community 60 odd years ago? And who or what is haunting the film crew as they explore the ghostly town? This gave me chills as I read it in the evening with the rain beating down on my roof. It was great. And that's all for this edition of 4 and 4. Hope to see you in another month or so for 4 more books in 4 minutes.